You're listening to Cinema Jaw, the greatest movies podcast ever, recorded on location at the original Mother's Nightclub in Chicago. My name is Matt Kay, and with me is...
Rye, the movie guy. And this week on Cinema Jaw, Matt, we take a look at the best remakes Hollywood has given us.
Yes, Hollywood is running out of ideas. And are we running out of ideas? Is that why we picked this topic?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
It just seems that Hollywood lately, especially, tons and tons of remakes. Every week there's a remake coming out.
I know. They remake remakes. This may be on someone's list, it may not, but a remake of a remake just came out, The Thing. A remake of a remake.
Absolutely. They're on their third remake.
That's right. It happens all the time.
And we're doing this because the movie The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo is set to open up in theaters. It's the English version remake of the Swedish version, which was a smashing success.
I like the first one. No, absolutely. The second two films, suspect, but the first one was amazing. Great movie.
At first, I thought I was going to ignore it. I will say that I'm getting a little interested with this David Fincher one coming out.
Fincher is good. He's good. It is a remake. I think the Scandinavian or Norwegian?
Swedish, thank you.
The Swedish films were adequate, meaning that's a positive, not a negative, meaning they don't need to be remade. They were good. But I agree. I'm in your camp here. It's
mild interest brewing.
Indeed.
Yeah. So besides looking at our favorite remakes that Hollywood has given us, we also have Eye for an Eye on Mission Impossible, Ghost Protocol, and also the second Sherlock Holmes movie.
Nice. 2 action flicks.
We have theater reviews for you of the new film New Year's Eve and also Shame with Michael Fassbender.
You like this Fassbender guy.
Yes, got out and saw both of those. Plus DVD review, I should say basically like a refresher of The Debt, which came out in theater. Want to go over that movie again as well.
Cool.
Plus we have Cinema War topic where we are going to look at Guy Ritchie.
It's going to be fun.
Sure
Mr.
is.
Madonna.
Sure is. So we got a full episode. Let's get started right away, Matt. Eye for an Eye, interested or ignore on Mission Impossible, Ghost Protocol. The IMF is shut down when it's implicated in the bombing of the Kremlin, causing Ethan Hunt and his new team to go rogue to clear their organization's name. Tom Cruise stars in the 4th installment, and joining him in the cast this time around are Jeremy Renner and Simon Pegg, and it is directed by Brad Bird, who is best known for working over at Pixar and directing movies like Ratatouille. Matt, interested or ignore on Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol?
I'm interested, dude. I'm totally interested in this. I've liked all the Mission Impossible movies, some more than others. I think the first and the third are the best, but this one looks great. Dude, I'm a sucker for a great action movie. I
really wish that Tom Cruise could have branched off and did a cool action movie the way this one looks, and it wasn't part of the Mission Impossible franchise. I'm giving this one an ignore.
Well, Tom Cruise, if I'm not mistaken, pretty much owns the Mission Impossible franchise at this point.
I believe he does.
So,
it makes sense.
It makes perfect sense. Why wouldn't he?
Yeah. I just wonder if the Mission Impossible franchise isn't going down the series of the Star Trek phenomenon where every other one is good. Because I thought the second Mission Impossible was just terrible. I think this fourth one
disagree.
looks
You don't like Ang
bad.
Lee. You just don't like Ang Lee.
No, the second one was just terrible. I'm telling you, man. It was an awful showcase of Tom Cruise. Look how cool I am. Had nothing to do with the Mission Impossible storyline.
Well, that's debatable, but I really like the dual pistols and the motorcycle chase scenes. Oh, the second Mission Impossible was cool, dude.
Oh, that slow motion, and hey, look at Tom Cruise on the motorcycle. I thought it was ridiculous. And that time when he, stopped, what happened in there? He, flipped around on the motorcycle.
He did a front wheelie.
Oh, God, was that terrible.
That was awesome, dude.
Oh, that was ridiculous. And then he did bounce back with the third one, but again, looking at the previews of this fourth one, even with Simon Pegg in it, I think it's going to be a misfire.
We'll see. I think it'll be good.
All right, we split on Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. No surprise there. The other movie opening up, Matt, is Sherlock Holmes, A Game of Shadows. Robert Downey Jr., Jude Law, and director Guy Ritchie are back. This time, Sherlock Holmes and his sidekick, Dr. Watson, join forces to outwit and bring down their fiercest enemy yet, Professor
Moriarty.
You know him.
Yeah, oh, God, yeah. Any Holmesian worth his salt.
Well, I think I know where Matt's going with this one. Interested or ignore on the second Sherlock Holmes?
I like me some Holmes, man. The new films are kind of hokey, but interested.
Boy, oh boy.
Jude Law is great, and so is Robert Downey. Why not?
I remember when I gave my review of the first Sherlock Holmes film, I thought, it was pretty cool looking. It had some very high stylized action, but it was going to be very, very forgettable, and it was. I don't want to see the second one. I don't think there was any need to see a second one. I would have loved to see a really intelligent Sherlock Holmes franchise launched, and that's not what we're getting here. I'm giving this Sherlock Holmes an ignore.
I do not disagree with your criticism. This is not a very intelligent Sherlock Holmes franchise.
You know how great it would have been if there was like an interesting mystery that they were trying to solve? It really could have been awesome.
Yeah, kind of do what like Dan Brown tried to do with his films. Well, I guess it wasn't his films, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like the
Da Vinci Code.
Da Vinci Code, right. What they were trying to go for was like an intrigue and a mystery. These are like kind of surface action films.
And that isn't what you think of initially when you think of Sherlock Holmes. You're going to get some stylized action film, and that's what you're getting from Guy Ritchie.
Yeah, I agree. It's a little weird.
Yeah. Sounds like Matt's switching his pick to it.
No, I'm interested. I'm going to see this movie, but, as a Holmesian, I would say that suspect.
Right. So we split again on Sherlock Holmes, Game of Thrones. So we got one interested, one ignore. I did get out to the theater, and I caught a couple of new movies, Matt.
Cool.
The first one one is fantastic, and one is awful. And up first is New Year's Eve. Holy hell, does this movie suck. In fact, I had to wash my clothes after seeing it because they smelled like crap from being in the theater with this large pile of dung for 2 miserable hours. The film sports a large cast, from Hilary Swank, Robert De Niro, Ashton Kutcher, to the likes of Michelle Pfeiffer, Halle Berry, Zac Efron, Jessica Biel, Sarah Jessica Parker. Let's just say it was a James Van Der Beek away from including everyone in Hollywood. Much like the movie Valentine's Day, the characters are in many small stories, all of them leading up to midnight New Year's Eve. Picking the best one of these mini stories, Matt, is like picking out the tallest midget. But I would have to give it to Michelle Pfeiffer and Zac Efron's plotline that had her trying to go through a bucket list of things she wanted to do before the new year. The worst of them has to be Hilary Swank, who is in charge of the Times Square celebration. The low point of the movie is when the giant New Year's Eve ball gets stuck and Hilary Swank addresses the media, giving a heartwarming speech about what the New Year celebration is all about. Shoot me now. I repeat, someone, shoot me now. Thank you, Matt. Adding insult to injury,
you're welcome.
The musical act hired to perform at the Times Square celebration is Bon Jovi, and he's playing a character named Jensen. Things just get worse from there. Do yourself a favor and stay far away from this crap fest. Ride the movie guy's grade, 0 Jaws.
Whoa. Tell us how you really feel. I actually have a friend named Jensen.
Really?
Yeah, I know. I play cards with this guy every week.
I don't know why they wouldn't have just let Bon Jovi be Bon Jovi.
No, yeah, what the hell? That's stupid.
It is. And I don't know if you've seen Valentine's Day, but again, one of these premises, like, let's get a humongous cast. They each have about roughly 10 to 15 minutes of screen time when it all adds up. And they're all doing their little thing. So each story has to be very cliche because you have to get it within 2 minutes what the character's ultimate goal is in the movie.
It's like an amalgam of a bunch of little short films.
Yes, and the result is just crap. I was so disappointed with this movie. My eyes actually hurt because I was rolling them so much in the theater.
Yeah, that's a shame, man. Not that I had high hopes for this, but didn't think it was going to be that bad.
Yeah, you have Ashton Kutcher stuck in the elevator so he can't tweet. He's stuck, and it's like, come on, they're stuck in the elevator for like 3 hours with the pretty girl from Glee, and
did they make out?
Yeah, you can't see where this is going, and she's trying to get down to the celebration. He hates New Year's. They fall in love. You got Sarah Jessica Parker chasing after her daughter who's trying to meet a boy down at the celebration. You got a couple of babies trying to be the firstborn at New Year's to win $25,000, and they're trying to self-induce pregnancy. Like, oh, jeez. And then Robert De Niro's about to die. He just wants to see one more New Year's. Can he make it to New Year's to see this last great celebration? I don't know if that was supposed to be sentimental to anybody. It didn't work at all.
Sounds like crap fest, man.
So stay far, far away, Matt, from New Year's Eve. You heard it here. 0 Jaws. We like to do parents on the show, but I refuse to give parents to this crappy movie because it would just be embarrassing to the parents.
It should never have been born.
Exactly. The other movie I did get out to see, let's clear our palates from that crap. The movie is Shame. The year of Michael Fassbender continues. He plays Brandon, a guy who lives the Manhattan lifestyle with a nice apartment and white-collar job. He is also a sex addict, and he satisfies his addiction through pornos, prostitutes, online chats, and picking up random girls. Sounds like you, Matt. His sister is played by Carey Mulligan, comes to stay with them for a while, throwing his lifestyle into a mess. The film examines the addiction deeper than most I have seen in the past. We find out that something happened to Brandon and his sister when they were younger that led him to this lifestyle. We see that he has trouble with intimacy. He does not like relationships. He seems to only see sex from one angle, and after he gets it, he feels shame. Fassbender commands your attention when he is on screen. You constantly want to know more about him. The movie is filled with nudity, from a full frontal Fassbender to a threesome he has with two girls. But the movie is done in a way where the scenes evoke almost a sympathy for the character more than being erotic. The film has a gorgeous cinematography and is filled with a beautiful score. In many ways, I found Shame to be mesmerizing. In my opinion, it's one of the best movies of the year. Ride the Movie Guy's grade, 4 Jaws, a grade of an A-.
Nice. So this is one that McPadden is going to write about, right? Our friend Mike McPadden of Mr.
Yes.
Skin.
This will definitely be in the Mr. Skin repertoire.
Yes, yes.
It has, again, it has a lot of nudity.
Any famous starlets showing off their goods?
I mean, Carey Mulligan is completely nude in the film. Okay. It is rated NC-17 for good reason. I think just the nature of the film, what it's talking about, and all the sex that you do see. But again, it's not a film that you go to and it's like a strip show where you feel. You know.
Yeah, it's not soft porn.
No, and in fact, the main sex scene, this threesome that he's having with these girls, I mean, there's this just beautiful music playing. The score is just so powerful. And
you're trying to say it was artistic, right?
Yes, it was artistic.
I
Matt.
don't believe that for a second.
And I'm telling you, that scene was just it was gorgeous. And there are other moments when he's going for a jog. I mean, there's just beautiful, beautiful moments in this film. You really get to know the character and just want to know more about him as it plays out. Definitely don't miss that one. 4 Jaws for Shame. If this movie had parents, they would be Sliver and Debbie Does Dallas.
Wow. Those are some awesome parents, man.
So check out Shame.
I will.
I don't know if Shame will ever be remade, but maybe it will be someday.
I'm going to remake it tonight.
And I hope to God New Year's Eve is never remade. Whew. But that is our topic this week, our top 5 favorite remakes. And it's a delicate subject. I think we were talking before we went on about how, I mean, if it's a movie that should have been remade in the beginning, it's a touchy subject.
It is, and I think it's one we've debated a lot here on Cinema Jaw. Like you seem to be, for the most part, of the camp that movies should not ever be remade. It's a piece of art that should stand alone in and of itself.
Correct.
And I think that a good story deserves to be retold, get shown to a new audience. And there's some on my list that I would never have sought out the originals had I not seen the amazing remakes.
Good to hear. And, I sort of took your advice when we did the Cinema War on the idea that if a story does get retold, it is for a new generation, changes with the times.
Sure.
And then my 5 films that I picked out do sort of evoke that idea.
Cool. Mine as well.
All right. Get us started, Matt.
All right. At number 5, I'm just going to say this. I have horror is a genre that gets remade a lot, usually for the best.
Cheap to do.
It is. But this is a classic movie, The Fly. Have you ever seen it?
I have seen The Fly. I love The Fly.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum, Gina Davis. He's working on a teleportation device, and it's just such an improvement upon the original Vincent Price film. You come to know Brundle and subsequently Brundle Fly, and such a sympathetic character. Great performance from Jeff Goldblum. One of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, great pick. I never have seen the original.
Oh, really?
No.
Well, the original's great.
And,
Vincent Price.
To be honest, I don't even know exactly when I realized that The Fly was a remake. It wasn't something that was always up in my noggin.
There was even a sequel to the original called Return of the Fly.
Right.
And also starring Vincent Price. The original came out in 1958, and the remake was 1986.
Wow. Interesting.
And that was David Cronenberg's.
Yes, it
director.
was.
Yeah.
Great director. Swings us over to my number 5. And at number 5, I have the 2002 film The Italian Job.
A nice pick, right?
Yeah, this has got Mark Wahlberg, Charlize Theron, Donald Sutherland, and also Jason Statham.
Statham, yeah, you got it.
Yeah, it's a remake of the 1969 version, also called The Italian Job, that starred Michael Caine. Heist film, pretty predictable. It's nothing that's going to blow the doors off the hinges. But for a heist film, it was one of my more,
Seth Green's in this as well, right?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Absolutely. The heist film where they're going to basically cause a traffic jam in Los Angeles, and that's sort of a getaway plot. They got the Mini Coopers. They had the Mini Coopers in the original. They got the Mini Coopers, which were sort of brought back and are in style even today.
That's probably what inspired the whole film. Hey, man, did you see they brought the Mini Cooper back? Yeah, you know what we should do? This is two movie executives talking. We should remake The Italian Job.
No. How about
it? Great idea. We got the Mini Coopers. I mean, what else do you need?
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, obviously it goes sort
Seth Green. That's what you need.
It sort of goes tongue-in-cheek because maybe the movie also sort of launched the rebirth of the Mini Cooper. I don't know exactly when the Mini Cooper resurfaced. But
it was right around that same time. It's definitely a commercial for the Mini Cooper.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Greatest movie ever sold. Should definitely check out The Italian Job.
I happen to agree with that.
Swing us into our number 4, Matt.
Well, in keeping with the inspiration for this topic, I am going to list at number 4, The Ring, which is an American version of a Japanese film called Ringu, which was almost, I don't want to say shot for shot, but certainly very, very close thematically. The remake came out in 2002. Gore Verbinski is his name, the director. What's the actress's name?
Naomi Watts. Yes.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful girl.
Yeah.
And such a phenomenal talent. And she was great. This movie is so creepy. It's, again, one of my favorite movies, and it led me to discover Japanese horror, which is awesome.
I love this pick. And in fact, I actually have The Ring sitting at number 4 myself.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And I have never seen the original.
Oh, I have.
And you seeked it out because...
Oh, absolutely.
How much you like The Ring.
Yeah, totally. And it's very, very similar. They sort of, in the original, it's a little bit more rambling, and they go through a lot more. The American version is a lot more succinct because I think American audiences kind of demand that of a film. But, seek out the original Ringu. It's a worthwhile view, but I got to say, I do prefer the remake.
Now,
Same thing with The Grudge. I mean, it's like... They remade a bunch of Japanese horror movies.
They did. You lost me on The Grudge. I thought the movie was just silly.
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah, that was a joke. I was laughing at that part.
Oh, it freaked me the hell out.
But Naomi Watts, she had her breakthrough performance was in Mulholland Drive, and then she followed with The Ring. This was like her big starring vehicle, and it just...
catapulted her.
Yeah, absolutely, right to stardom. And I always say the imagery in The Ring, the actual tape that they watch in The Ring, just freaks me out. So right away they lure me in, They put that tape on, it's like, I'm creeped out just watching it. I love it.
It is a creepy little film within a film. And in fact, I believe it was one of our trivia prizes a few weeks ago, and I've shared it with Reno, and he was impressed with it. So, yeah, it's to this day, I watch it on YouTube, and I get just shivers down my spine, man.
Yeah.
It's creepy.
Matt's number 4 is The Ring. Also, my number 4, The Ring. So, in good company there. Throws it over to Matt for his number 3.
Oh, this is going fast, man. My number 3 is... Dude, if I didn't put this film on my list, there would seriously be something wrong with me as a zombie fan. Gonna go out on a limb and admit that I like this better than the original. I'm talking about the remake of George Romero's classic, Dawn of the Dead.
This is a big moment for Matt.
Yeah. The remake came out in 2004. The original George Romero flick was in 78. The remake's by Zack Snyder. Completely different movie. The original was like a subtext on crass American consumerism. And maybe there was a little bit of that going on in the remake. But more, I think it was just like a really solid zombie survival story and a human story, about like survivors hanging out in a mall and getting to know one another and their different personalities, and really good. It really launched the new generation of zombie movie.
Gotcha.
And showed that we could be serious with the genre. I don't think we would have The Walking Dead without this movie. I don't think we would have Shaun of the Dead without this movie. I don't think we would have 28 Days Later, and so many of these movies that have become so near and dear to our hearts. Dawn of the Dead, Zack Snyder kicked the door open and really showed that this genre can perform in the new day and age.
Well said, Matt. Here's one where I only have seen the original one. I've never seen the Zack Snyder remake.
You got to see it. You got to see it tonight, right? That is your Q-tip.
All right.
Seriously.
I like it.
I recommend movies to you every week, but this one, you will not be disappointed. You might even come out of it liking zombie movies.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I'm serious.
Stop the clock. All right, that was Matt's number 3. Swings us over to my number 3, and how nice. I have a movie called 3:10 to Yuma at number 3. Have you seen this one?
I have seen the original, never the remake.
All right, and it came out in 2007. Russell Crowe, Christian Bale. It's a remake of the 1957 version that starred Glenn Ford. I have not seen the original.
Oh, really? It's on TMC all the time.
Nice. The premise here is
TCM,
that a rancher basically is escorting a criminal to the train, the 310 train to Yuma.
Right.
And there's, I guess, the criminal is trying to let the rancher try to let him go. He's trying to bribe him. There's almost like a friendship there, and eventually actually a respect between the two. The two. Besides that, you also have a great shootout between the outlaws trying to free their guy, and
it's classic.
It's fantastic. And a lot of times, westerns for me, I've always said I'm not a huge fan of westerns, and especially some of these new westerns seem to fall flat because you can't picture someone like a Christian Bale and a Russell Crowe being in a western a lot of times, at least for me. But here, 3:10 to Yuma just sort of hit it, and it was one of those that I watched. It was like, all right, if all the westerns could be this good, I'd be a fan of them. So that's when I know it's a good sign.
Yeah. I liked it. I mean, I liked the original. Seeing the remake is on my list for sure.
Yeah. So that was my number 3, 3:10 to Yuma. Swings us into our 2s. What do you got, Matt?
At number 2, I have a little movie known as Cape Fear. Robert De Niro's performance, it's tough to beat Robert Mitchum. And if anybody can do it, it was De Niro, and he did not let us down. Nick Nolte, right? Nick Nolte? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, man. His performance is fantastic, too. Juliette Lewis, a young Juliette Lewis is in this, and man,
she's awesome in there too.
This movie comes up a lot on a lot of my lists, and I'm sorry for that. Like, I feel like I'm sort of beating it up. Like, we just did tattoo movies not too long ago,
and I had it on my list.
Yeah, it's a fantastic movie, and that's why it keeps coming up. It is really worthy.
I must confess again, though, I have never seen the original.
I've seen the original. Again, on TMC, dude. Do you get TMC?
I do not.
Oh, that's right. You don't have cable.
No.
I canceled it as well, but when I had it, I watched it all the time, and Cape Fear, it's my number 2 remake. It's totally worth it. I had not seen the original, didn't even know it was a remake the first time I saw it, and then having seen the remake, I'm like, I have to see the original, and it was amazing.
Nice. Sweet pick. Swings us over to my number 2, and at number 2 I have a movie I think we've both seen. Came out just recently here in 2010, True Grit.
Oh, nice pick, dude. Didn't even think of that.
Yeah, you got Matt Damon, Jeff Bridges, Haley Steinfeld, and Josh Brolin. This is a remake of the 1969 version starring the Duke, John Wayne, and Kim Darby played the girl in that version. This is one where I have seen both, and I seeked out the original after seeing the remake. So I saw this first Jeff Bridges one first, loved it, thought it was a very strong Western. Again, this is what I want to see out of my Westerns, very entertaining. Then I went back and I watched the original, and this is a very rare case where I would say the original is fantastic as well. And although the Coen brothers in the remake did make some changes to it, they both sort of work on their own levels.
I agree completely. I mean, this is a classic True Grit. It's pointed to by many as one of the best, if not the best, John Wayne movie.
He won the Academy Award for it.
Yeah, and for Jeff Bridges to come in. And wait, did Bridges win the Academy Award?
He did not.
As well?
He was nominated for it.
He was nominated. He won the next year for...
he won, actually, the year earlier for...
Crazy Heart.
That's it.
Anyway, so yeah, that one. And I just love Bridges' performance. Few people could stand up to the Duke, but the dude did the Duke, and he did it well.
He did. That was my number 2, True Grit. Definitely seek out both of them. Like them both. That's my big pick at number 2. Swings us into our 1s, Matt. Can't wait to hear what you got as your favorite remake.
I don't think this is going to shock you at all. Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Michael Caine, Steve Martin. It's based on Ralph Levy's con men comedy Bedtime Story, which came out in 1964. And this is actually one of the... I'm not sure if it's directorial. It's not his directorial debut. It's his second film from Frank Oz. who, of course, we all know and love, is the voice of Miss Piggy, Yoda.
Sure.
And, he's up there, does some great film work. He did Little Shop of Horrors, which is also a remake.
Absolutely.
But I love this film. I have not seen the original yet. I really, really want to. But the Michael Caine, Steve Martin combo, there's just something magical about it. Those two just play off each other perfectly. This movie just strikes gold on every level. It's like pitch perfect, It just like hits that tone right from the beginning and stays true all the way throughout. I love it. It's in my collection at home, and I'll throw it in once a quarter.
Yeah, that's beautiful. This was one that I had eluded me for so long, and in fact, it was here on Cinema Jaw when I had confessed that I never saw it, and Reno brought it in the next week and was like, we can't do the show anymore unless you see Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
And you loved it, right?
I did. It was a fantastic, fantastic film.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with Michael Caine and Steve Martin.
I mean, I think that what I said originally, right when I saw it, it was like they just don't make good comedies like that anymore. They're either these like total goofball comedies, or they're totally geared towards like the guy or the girl bridesmaids type style.
Right, like gross out humor.
Yeah, they don't make the good old Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
No, they don't. This is like pure of heart, but that being said, it's not like lame. It doesn't feel like we're missing out on anything. It's just a good freaking comedy, man.
It is.
I love it.
Great pick. Swings us over to my number one. I think I also have a very worthy number one. In fact, the Academy Awards agreed with me as it won the Academy Award for Best Picture and finally got Martin Scorsese his Academy Award. I am speaking of the 2006 film The Departed.
Nice.
Obviously, Leonardo DiCaprio, Matt Damon, Mark Wahlberg star in there, few others. Remake of the 2002 Hong Kong film Infernal Affairs.
Yeah.
Which I still have not seen.
Me neither.
But I am interested in checking that one out.
Me too, yeah. The Departed is an amazing film.
Yeah, it sure is. And I just ended up watching it not too long ago, and it's really holding up pretty well, I think.
Yeah, he Bostonized it.
He did.
So, that's what made it stand apart from the Hong Kong original. And he also directed Cape Fear, which was another one that's high up on the list. So Scorsese, not afraid to do a remake.
And I believe those, I was reading actually when I was doing my research on pulling the information for Departed, that those were his only two remakes, are Cape Fear and The Departed.
You got any honorables? I do. The Man Who Knew Too Much is a remake of a remake by it's a remake of the director's own film. Alfred Hitchcock remade his own film. Also, we mentioned Little Shop of Horrors. Mm-hmm. We also mentioned Naomi Watts. She was in another famous remake, King Kong.
Yes.
Peter Jackson's version, some say, is the best.
Yeah, should be noted. One I did have sort of a remake is Casino Royale.
Yeah, people are pointing to that as a remake.
Yeah, I mean, it was a spoof in the original. It was more of like a comedy, but they took Casino Royale, obviously, with the first Bond film for Daniel Craig and turned it into, I think, the best James Bond film.
I don't disagree with you. I don't. We also mentioned Donald Sutherland a little earlier. He was in a fantastic remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Oh, I need to see this movie.
Oh, his scene at the end, I won't ruin it for people who haven't seen it, but it's haunting. To this day, I can still see Donald Sutherland's face in my mind.
And Skip, the later remake of that remake, just Invasion with Nicole Kidman and Daniel Craig.
Sucks.
That is terrible.
It's a crap fest.
Yeah, so stay away from that one.
Scarface.
Right?
Another fantastic remake. I mean, seriously, I've seen the original. I should say I've seen bits and pieces of it. I couldn't get into it. But, like, the second you see Tony Montana walk on the screen, you're hooked in Scarface, man.
No doubt about it.
That guy is just magnetic. Probably Al Pacino's...
best.
Probably his best.
Most iconic.
Yeah, Godfather, too, for sure. But a lot of people point to Tony Montana, so...
These are our favorite remakes. If we missed a great remake, you got Twitter pulled up right now, shoot us a tweet.
Please.
At CinemaJaw. Let us know what remake you think is the best.
Yeah, you can even do like a hashtag remake or something,
No doubt about it. Should also be noted that our top 5 favorite remakes is sponsored by Evil Squirrel Comics.
Oh, they are the best comic book shop in Chicago, Rye.
They are. And in fact, if you're listening to this today, as we posted it, we are having a fundraiser at Mother's
tonight. Yes, so
December 13th.
December 13th. So this will come out on December 13th. We are at Mother's getting drunk right now.
Come out and support Evil Squirrel Comics. You can also check evilsquirrelcomics.com online for their digital store.
Yep, and if you're in Chicagoland, it's steps away from the Morse Red Line stop on Glenwood.
So definitely want to thank them for their sponsorship of Cinema Jaw, and check out Evil Squirrel on Facebook as well.
Cheers.
So what we're going to do, Matt, is we're going to take a break. When we come back, we are going to have a cinema war. And also, we are going to find a victim up at the front of the bar for you to take on in trivia. You have lost 2 in a row. See if you can regain the steadiness you had going with that 7 in a row streak.
Yeah, what's my record on the year? Am I ahead?
Yeah, you are still ahead, Matt. You are currently sitting at 20 wins, 17 losses.
All right, I'm going to finish ahead.
Yeah. We'll see what you do this week.
All right.
We'll be right back on Cinema Jaw.
Hi, I'm Matt Kay with a Cinema Jaw movie fact. In the 2010 Karate Kid remake, the style of kung fu that the woman standing on the dragon's head is practicing is called crane-style kung fu. Practitioners of this style are very adept at balancing on one foot, as the crane does. This is a nod to the original in which Daniel defeated a member of the Cobra Kai dojo by using the crane technique. And that is your Cinema Jaw movie fact.
And we are back on Cinema Jaw. Before we get to trivia, and we did find a contestant for Matt to take on. Don't say victim.
He's
because
a victim. He will be.
He lost you once before. He is a regular up at the front of the bar here at Mother's.
Brian, what's your last name, bro?
Ruberry.
Ruberry, that's right. Yeah, I'm friends with you on Facebook, so I should know that.
Now, Brian, you've been on Cinema Jaw before. You lost to Matt in trivia.
Yes, I have.
You looking for some revenge tonight?
I'm hoping for it.
I'm kind of rooting for you, but not really.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
I think you're going to lose. That's just my opinion, though.
Everyone's entitled to one.
Yes.
Now, Brian, you live very close to Mother's, a couple blocks away.
Yes, I do. I live about 3.5 blocks away.
And there are a lot of bars, for the jawheads that are not familiar with Chicago that are listening to this. Division Street, Rush, everything's packed with bars, restaurants down here. What separates Mother's? What keeps bringing you into Mother's here, Brian?
Great question.
To me, personally, the staff who works here, I've been coming for a little bit now, and they've become great friends. I mean, if it wasn't for them,
You'd be sober.
Yeah, probably. But it's a great time.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely. Always a great time.
Do you ever feel like if you go to one of the other bars on Division that you're sort of cheating on Mother's?
Yes and no, because I know I'm going to show up there at some point, and you don't have to tell them.
Yeah, that's a great thing about Division Street. It's like a menage a trois. You can be a regular at 3 different bars. They're not going to know. It's okay. Everyone's friends. We're all friends in the morning.
They're always happy to see Brian here on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yep. So, Brian, here's our chance to get to know you a little better. It's your second time on the Jaw. What do you do for a living?
Right now, I sell corporate insurance.
That sounds really interesting. Tell me more.
Oh, it's totally interesting.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man. No, the job kind of fell into my lap after I graduated from DePaul. Last time I was the contestant, I was going to school.
Oh, now you've graduated.
So now I've
changed.
graduated. Things have changed. And luckily, I have a job.
Good for you.
It's a desk job. I'm okay with that. Pays.
Yeah.
Help support your bar tab.
It's actually true. Very, very true. But, yeah, so fell into my job, met a few people. They talked about insurance. Brian, you'd really like this. I'm like, really? You know, going into it, oh, man, this is going to suck.
Corporate insurance.
Yeah, right.
Sounds
exactly.
really, it's like fascinating.
So I interview with my boss, and he's like, oh, you sound like a cool guy. My boss turns out to be a lot of fun. Hanging out, drinking, having fun. I'm like, all right, let's see what this is about. Go into it, start working. All my coworkers, fun guys, party animals, but when you work, you're down to the grindstone. So it's worth it, though.
Have you ever seen that movie Groundhog's Day?
Yes.
Okay, so whenever I hear somebody sells insurance, I always think of Ned Ryerson from Groundhog's Day. Do you know any characters like that who are just so cheesy? They're
Watch
always
your step. It's a doozy.
It's a doozy. Do you know dudes like that? That are like so cheesy and into like selling that they're always on and they never like drop that salesman persona.
Yeah, some of my dad's friends who are the ones who talked me to going into insurance in the first place.
See, they sold you into it.
Hilarious.
It happens.
So, well, let's talk about you're a movie buff. You watch a lot of films.
Yes.
All right, cool. What are some of your favorite movies?
Number one, I'd say favorite movie of all time, The Doors, Val Kilmer.
Nice pick.
Good pick.
I got to go with it. And then I kind of go towards, like, Ghostbusters.
Oh,
Matt
man.
loves you now. Matt loves you now.
Sorry, you got to bring that in.
No, keep going, man. You're speaking the gospel.
What else? Pulp Fiction.
Nice.
Sure.
Yeah, Pulp Fiction's a good one.
He's rocking them all. I like this Brian kid.
Keep going. We'll go top 5. That was 3.
All right. Snatch.
Snatch. Ooh,
Oh
Guy
boy!
Ritchie.
Oh boy!
Snatch.
That's our Cinema War topic coming up here, Matt.
Oh, I got
It's
some
good stuff.
Yeah, I might win. I smell a victory.
Let's see. I kind of stray towards the anime series then.
Okay, which one?
Princess Mononoke.
Okay, so you're a fan of like Spirited Away.
Spirited Away was okay. Not as
Same
best.
director.
Yeah. But, yeah, Princess Mononoke. One of those
Nice.
things I saw and I'm like, all right, I love it.
Yeah, no doubt.
He's got a new movie coming out. Jeez, total brain fart. Right, you got it?
I don't.
He's got a new movie coming out, and I just saw the trailer for it when I went to see The Muppets, and it looked fantastic. You know what? I'll look it up right before we do our trivia.
And put it in the post.
Yeah, I'll put it in post.
All right, our first segment here, Brian. You have to play judge between me and Matt in Cinema War, and I was shocked that you brought up a Guy Ritchie film because it's not good in my corner because we're talking Guy Ritchie in the Cinema War. Jawheads at home. Me and Matt are going to battle on a topic, and Brian here has to determine who wins this argument. Reno, tell the Jawheads at home what we're talking about on this Cinema War.
Today's Cinema War topic is Guy Ritchie a good director? Matt, you'll be fighting that he is. Rye, you'll be fighting that he is not. Let the Cinema War begin.
Oh, come on, Matt. To be considered a good director, you have to have more than one movie to hang your hat on. Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels was so 13 years ago.
Yeah, 13 years ago, and freaking awesome. Mr. Madonna is a world-class filmmaker who's just hitting his prime. Having cut his teeth on the critically acclaimed, as we mentioned, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, the world just can't wait to see what this guy has to offer.
Not
Pun
bad,
intended.
Matt. I
Pun
like
intended.
it. I like it. Hey, I'll say this, though, Matt. His films, actually, they try too hard to be cool. As a result, they're not that cool. Example, Snatch.
One of Brian's favorite films. I'm just saying. I'm not saying, but I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Jason Statham, Vinnie Jones are just a few of the talents that this guy has introduced to the world. His eye for talent is amazing, and his directorial skills are pretty freaking awesome.
I don't know about that, Matt. He took a great idea for a franchise in Sherlock Holmes and ruined it by putting way too much stylized action in place of a thoughtful mystery. Crap on you, Guy Ritchie.
The Holmes films, sure, he's had a flop or two, but those films are burning up the box office. We'll forgive his little transgressions in favor of his future.
All right. He has zero range, Matt. Zero. He tries too hard with his movies, with the exception of Two Smoking Barrels. They all suck. I guess you could say he's cutting-edge version of Michael Bay.
Ooh. Lock, Stock, Snatch, Rock and Roller, these are titles second to none. Genre-busting tour de force. Holmes films may be a departure, or they may be just what the doctor ordered. It's really up to you. As far as Hollywood's concerned, they're gold. I say this man has much more to offer, and we've only seen the tip of the proverbial iceberg.
Matt, you have diarrhea of the mouth.
Yeah. And constipation of the brain.
All right, we are deadlocked here, Brian. Fisticuffs are about to occur. I can't believe Matt is such a fan of Guy Ritchie. You got to call it. What'd you think of the argument?
Well, you both had some good points and clashed on a few. And I'm trying to take my bias completely out of this situation right now.
Don't try too hard.
But I think Matt has the winning argument right here.
Yes.
Mainly because he also pointed out the box office numbers, and that's hard to stray from.
It is. Right, it really is.
True. That's fine. We got a Guy Ritchie fan in the house. I understand that who you got now, Matt. You could have picked anybody at the front of the bar, but hey, let's get the guy that's got Guy Ritchie's shirt.
Yep, he's wearing his Madonna t-shirt.
Unbelievable. Before we get to trivia, and because of Sherlock Holmes 2 being in theaters, we have Robert Downey Jr. movie trivia.
Oh, Jesus.
Matt is coming off 2 losses, Brian. Before we get to trivia, just wanted to remind the Jawheads at home, there are 2 great movies coming out on DVD. I gave reviews in earlier episodes. The first one is The Debt with Helen Mirren and also Jessica Chastain. What a fantastic thriller. It's a spy movie. Obviously, they're going after a scientist from the Holocaust, and they want to get him and bring him back to Israel to face charges. They go
War
into
crime,
They go into Eastern Germany, occupied by the Soviets. They sneak in, and it's sort of, you see two time periods. You see the later time period with Helen Mirren, the earlier one with Jessica Chastain. Cannot recommend this one enough. Definitely check that one out. And also, Warrior. I gave strong review for this. This was the mixed martial arts film where two brothers end up facing each other. Cliche as all can be, but wow, it still hits you right in the heart. I love Warrior also. Another Four-Jaw film also coming out on DVD, so check those two out.
I will. I hope they're both on Netflix.
Yeah, in about 6-7 months.
Yeah, or years.
All right, so it brings us to trivia.
Yeah, it is a virtue.
Sherlock Holmes 2 opening up in trivia with Robert Downey Jr. So we have Robert Downey Jr. movie trivia. Whew. Works like this.
I agree.
You each get a shot here. If one doesn't know it, there are steals. So you go back and forth. And if you get stuck on one, our wonderful producer, Steve Mrazek, will help you out with a clue. You just got to say, "Rescue me, Reno," and he'll come through and help you out.
Okay.
Now, Matt lost 2 in a row. However, you are our guest, Brian. You get to tell us, do you want to go first or let Matt go first?
I'll let Matt go first. He looked a little nervous.
Whoa. All right. And before I get to question number 1.
Oh, we got a sponsor.
No. We have a prize we are playing for
Oh,
this week.
even better.
This week, the contestants are playing for a prize. And if you win, Reno, tell the contestants what they will win.
Tonight's Cinema Trivia Prize is E.T.'s Speak and Spell. With this classic 1980s toy, you can listen to robotic voice speak what you spell. You can also use it to summon the alien mothership, or if it's 3 a.m. and you're really drunk, call Drew Barrymore. There's just one caveat: don't forget to phone home. This prize could be yours if you win tonight's Cinema Trivia. A $500 value. Advanced alien technology batteries not included. Flying BMX bicycle sold separately. Phone service limited to 200 minutes and 25 million light years.
That is awesome prize right here. Brian, tell me you don't want the, what is it called?
The E.T. Speak and Spell.
I love that you call it the Speak and Spell. This is fantastic.
It is. That's what it's called, Speak and Spell.
This is awesome. So big prize on the line. Question number 1, over to Matt.
All right.
Robert Downey Jr. teamed up with Jack Black and Ben Stiller in this 2008 comedy about making a war movie.
Tropic Thunder.
Wish I went thirst.
1-0, Matt K. Question number 2, over to Brian.
Right.
Robert Downey Jr. played Ian, a kid who bullied Gary and Wyatt in this 1985 comedy. You do have a lifeline if you want to use it right off the bat.
No, I'm going to save it to the second one, but...
Robert played Ian, a kid who bullied Gary and Wyatt in this 1985 comedy.
No, nothing.
Matt, you got a chance for a steal.
Weird Science.
2-0, Matt K. Oh, wow. We wish Brian would have went first. This question is over to Matt. Question number 3. In Iron Man, what actress plays his assistant, Pepper Potts?
Oh, man. Brain fart. Wait, don't buzz me.
You do have a lifeline.
No, hang on.
You can go for the win.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
3-0. Brian, we need to come back right here. Robert teamed up with Val Kilmer in this 2005 movie about an actor being teamed up with a detective. Val Kilmer, Robert Downey Jr. You do have a lifeline.
Save me.
Sounds like a Rescue Me Reno. This is question number 4. Robert Downey Jr. teamed up with Val Kilmer in this 2005 film about an actor being teamed up with a detective.
And your clue is not hug, hug, bam, bam.
Your clue is not hug, hug, bam, bam.
I was looking for the clue was something.
Yeah, you got a chance for a steal.
Kiss, Kiss, Bang, Bang.
4-0, Matt K.
Oh.
Brian, this is insulting, and this question is over to Matt.
Going for a shutout here, Brian.
In The Soloist, Robert Downey Jr. plays a reporter who befriends a homeless violin player. Who plays the homeless violinist?
Jamie Foxx.
The two I knew.
5-0.
Did you really not know that?
No, I said the two I knew.
See, the bartender's even here to heckle you.
5-0, Matt K. At this point, Brian, you need to get this one. Robert Downey Jr. plays Michael Douglas's editor who wants to hook up with Tobey Maguire in this 2000 film, which is actually a minor masterpiece.
Minor masterpiece, huh?
Robert Downey Jr. plays Michael Douglas's editor who actually wants to hook up with Tobey Maguire in this 2000 film, which is a minor masterpiece.
2000 what?
2000.
2000 film?
2000 and
2000 and nothing.
and film.
Boy, oh boy.
Slash face palm.
Matt, you
I
got
don't
a
know
chance
this one.
for a steal?
I don't know this one. Rescue Me, Reno.
Rescue Me, Reno. Question number 6.
Do you know it, Drew? No, Drew, the bartender, did not know.
I have no idea for that one.
Painful.
And your clue is, this is a wonderful clue.
Okay. Wonder Boys.
Well done on the Rescue Me, Reno.
Yeah, thank you. Good clue.
6-0, Matt K. He could almost run the tables here. This question is over to Matt. Question number 7. In last year's Due Date, Robert is stuck in the car with this bearded actor.
Zach Galifianakis.
7-0, Matt K. It's the last question of the game. It's obvious that he won, but Brian, you better get this last one.
Don't let it be a shutout.
Robert
I'm in
teamed
Vegas
up.
again.
Robert teamed up with Jake Gyllenhaal and Mark Ruffalo for this David Fincher directed film that came out in 2007.
One more time.
Robert teamed up with Jake Gyllenhaal and Mark Ruffalo for this David Fincher directed film that came out in 2007.
Who do you team up with?
Jake Gyllenhaal and Mark Ruffalo.
I think I'm going home sad tonight.
Wow, Matt, you can run the table with this one.
Do I have to get it right?
Yes, we have never had an 8-0 contest ever
Jake Gyllenhaal and Mark Ruffalo.
in a David Fincher directed film.
Shit.
Gotta buzz you, Matt.
Mulholland Drive. Nah, that's
We
David
were
Lynch.
looking for Zodiac.
Oh,
Zodiac.
man, Zodiac was awesome, too. I've seen it.
It's a fantastic
It
film.
really is. I forgot he was in that.
Yeah, check out Zodiac. Brian, that's your cute tip of the show.
All right.
Well, I didn't quite run the table, but...
No, 7-0 though. Holy moly.
No, it counts as running it.
Well, it's a shutout, but I didn't get them all right.
Matt improves to 21-17.
21 and 17.
Not bad.
It's not bad at all.
Yeah. We got a few Hollywood headlines.
Yeah, let's read them.
All right, up first, get a load of this one, Brian. Angelina Jolie sued over her new movie, Land of Blood and Honey, by a Croatian journalist who says the film did borrow much of the storyline from his 2007 book.
Really? Plagiarism.
Yeah. We'll
No
see how
kidding.
far that goes. I got to check out the movie. She directed it. I'm interested in checking it out.
Sounds like a really cool title. All right. Yeah, feel free to chime in on these, Brian, too.
All right.
Johnny Greenwood, the lead guitarist of Radiohead, will be composing the score for Paul Thomas Anderson's upcoming untitled religious drama, formerly known as The Master, with a capital T, The Master.
Whoa. I love it. He did awesome work in There Will Be Blood. I'm a huge Radiohead fan. How about you guys?
I like me some Radiohead.
I have to say, I actually do not like Radiohead.
Oh, Brian.
I'm killing these two right here.
Jesus.
I'm
The
fairly,
sour looks.
I'm kind of secular. I don't know about him doing like a religious movie. Is this like a...
I have faith in Paul Thomas Anderson, so.
Ah, nicely done.
Whoa! Big
a little
puns right there.
play on words.
Real big puns. Get a load of this one, Matt. A sequel to The Lincoln Lawyer is on its way, and in addition to that, there's going to be a TV series on ABC coming also.
Oh, my God.
Now, Matthew McConaughey is not going to be in it. She's going to be a spin-off of the Matthew McConaughey movie.
I liked the movie. It was good. But what are they going to do without McConaughey? It's like the Lincoln Lawyer's driver, which was kind of interesting.
Well, if Matt's not in there, then I'm pretty sure my stepmom won't like it as much as the first.
Yeah. Chicks dig him.
They do, as does Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I got one.
No comment.
Con or no con? Benicio del Toro won't be in Star Trek sequel. The star passed on what would have been his highest profile role to date. He was J.J. Abrams' choice to play the villain in the sequel to Star Trek, which may or may not be Khan.
Wow, that's interesting. There's a lot of rumors out on the net right now if they are going to have Khan as the villain. I love Del Toro. If he was going to be Khan or not, I think he would make a fantastic villain in the Star Trek
Can't
universe.
do worse than Eric Bana, man. I mean, I like the first film, but Eric Bana's tattooed
What?
face?
I loved it.
Really?
Yeah.
It was trash.
Are you kidding me?
Trash.
I thought he was one of the better villains. This coming from a guy who liked Red Skull?
Yes.
Red Skull over Eric Bana in Star Trek.
You better believe it,
Oh,
brother.
that's a joke.
Not at all.
No.
Not at all.
I'd take me some Eric Bana, no doubt, in Star Trek.
I like Bana. I just didn't like that character.
Well, I would like to see Del Toro be a villain in the Star Trek universe. I think
As
that'd
would
be
I.
interesting.
Not in the stars, Rye.
Yeah. Well, it brings us to the end of a great cinema job. Brian, this is your second time on. You went down in just
Flames.
god-awful flames.
Oh, man.
A
Crash and burn.
fireball. I mean, it was unbelievable. I haven't seen anything like that since the Hindenburg.
Before we go, we should mention the new 400 theaters.
Yes. Check out the new 400. They are the best theater in Chicago. And why is it, Matt?
Because they have a full-service liquor bar
Brian would love this. Brian, full-service bar at a movie theater.
at the movies.
Wow.
He's lost for words.
He is. He's stunned.
You can have cocktails, beer, wine, whatever you like. And it's not just our opinion. The Reader has voted them the best bar in a movie theater in the city of Chicago.
They also have the best prices on new run theaters. So check out what's playing at the new 400 at www.thenew400.com.
And we thank them for their support.
So, Matt, the end of a cinema jaw, we got to thank the new 400 theaters. We got to thank Evil Squirrel Comics.
Yep, PBR, the original mothers, everybody who supports.
Also, thanks to Brian for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
And thanks to Steve Mrazek, the best producer in the biz.
Best there is.
So until next week, like us on Facebook
Follow us on Twitter.
and keep on jawing about the movies.